a little review on how to think about ourselves when things are going on in the world and we can't do anything about that. So let's talk about it. But to be clear, I'm sure that this group has people who are for both parties. And for me personally, I'm not opting into any of that nonsense. I know that might be hard to hear, but I'm not pro or against anybody. I cast my vibrational vote every single day, and I feel really, really good about that. So, but nonetheless, let's still talk about it because there might still be some people who haven't totally built out new neural pathways and have a default sense that everything's fine and that there's not really any reasons to be worried right now. Oh my God, can you believe it? Can you believe it that we have permission not to be worried? Some of you guys are like heart palpitations. What are you talking about, Leah? But do you not actually know what's going on? Oh my gosh. Of course things in the world can go on. Um, you have this world has been around for a very long time, and you have communities of people all around the world who have generational energies building momentum for very long periods of time. And you can always take a look at an energy of a community, the United States of America, different country, smaller, right? Even a family unit. There can be like a momentum of energy just in a four-person family unit. And so that exists. That exists. Community energies exist. The collective energies exist. But personal energies are stronger. Personal energies are stronger, meaning everybody has the ability to focus thoughts. Everybody has the ability to practice different vibrations. And we didn't come here just wanting it to be perfect. We came here because this physical plane is an opportunity to experience contrast and expand from that. And so we chose to come into a place where we would be testing the bounds of contrast. And we knew that for the contrast we would experience, that would lay the groundwork, that would be the seedlings for expansion. Going through shitty things is what reminds us to manifest and expand. And when we are manifesting and expanding, that is when who is what we came here for. That is who we are. The universe is expanding. Expansion is love. Expansion is us moving into the to fully who we are. So, but it could be easy if you have, oh great, Winston's popping in too. She's new. Oh, me too as well. We'll just let her pop in here. That's a good pause for the next part of the rant, I believe. Oh, of course. Of course. There she is. Winston. I was just chatting and I was like, Winston's popping in. Let's just wait for her for a second. You just missed a good part. You just missed a good couple minutes, but that's okay. So, so yes, you might have not changed the neural pathways that there's billions of people who want to tell you to worry. And, but did you hear this side is going to do this and this side is going to do that? And this is what's really going on. And this is what's really going on. And the entire conversation, the entire political conversation, every moment for most people, nothing's a definite, but for most people, almost every minute in the discussion is time you are not aware of your own personal energy, is a time when you are justifying turning off your love valve. You're saying, in this moment, I'm going to be concerned. In this moment, I'm going to worry. And worry and love cannot flow out of our body at the same time. You might think so. You might say, well, I love, and that's why I worry. That's not what love actually is. That is not what conditional love actually is. I mean, unconditional. Unconditional love is flowing love unconditionally. So if there is a condition, if there is a topic, if there is something going on in the world which justifies in that moment turning off the love valve, then the love is conditional. It's conditional on whatever you're looking at. And most people in the world would agree that, hey, that is what makes sense. It makes sense that if I'm looking at something then and I don't like it, then I would be worried. But remember, worry and love cannot come out of our bodies at the same time. When we are worried, love is turned off. When we are scared, love is turned off. When we are worried about other people, love is turned off. Worrying is saying other people are not in control of their vibration. Worrying is not having faith that everybody's on their path. Worrying is not seeing the value of contrast. Worrying is not recognizing that expansion is happening and contrast is necessary. Both sides need contrast to expand. Every single time that's why it flips back and forth, right? You get what you want, piss some people off, they manifest something else, they get what they want, piss some people off, they get what it. The most important key here, though, is the concept of love flowing out of our bodies. Let's say you're like, well, Leah, I'm worried because of what's going to happen. I'm worried because of rights. Both sides are going to say that. I'm sure there's a mix of people here. Both sides are going to say, well, I'm really scared of what happens at the other side. Da 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 da. And when you are worried, you are not remembering the point. Love is the undercurrent of this world. Love is the undercurrent of the universe. And if you are worried, that's probably because you want a best case scenario. So if you want a best case scenario, I would highly recommend manifesting a best case scenario rather than being worried about a worst case scenario. Do you see this? If we're worried, if we're nervous, if we're scared about something we don't want, which is the opposite energy of what we do want. What we do want, both sides. I have dear, brilliant friends and family members who will advocate for both sides. I've heard all of it, and the main point I see is everybody's scared, and so the conversation, unless you are somebody who can have these conversations and work on these problems while being in alignment, you're completely useless. You're completely useless. So we say, oh, well, I'm scared because what I really want is for everybody to be free and everybody to thrive, which is really saying, I want everybody to smile. I want everybody to have a good, nice life. I want everybody to have love flowing through their body. And if that's what you really want, if what you really want is as many people as possible living with love shining through their bodies, then the only way to help achieve that is to be one with love running through your body. Oh boy. So to be somebody who is saying, you know what? I'm going to show that I can flow love no matter what is going on. Now you are a conduit of love. You're an energy of love, which shows people love is possible. And then anybody who's on the fence, anybody who's suck-inable will get sucked in. And now you're a teacher. Now you're teaching everybody around you, whether you know them or not, that love and good vibration and appreciation and knowing is a choice. That always results in something something good. Love always inspires more love. Love always inspires more love. So if you're on one side, you might be like, oh yes, like we are now going to be like, we're certainly going to be free now. And if you're on the other side, there might be like, oh no, the freedoms are getting taken away. But if the opposite that happened, the other people would be like, now we're going to be free. And then the other people would be like, the freedoms are being taken away. Right. So there's this kind of undercurrent that freedom is something that can be given or taken from us. But we have so much inherent freedom that you can choose. You are free, this Abraham, right? You can choose, you are free to feel bondage. You are so free that you can choose bad thoughts. You are so free that you can choose any perspective. You are so free that you can, in this moment, live any life that you want. And you can feel anything that you want. And so we all have this inherent freedom. And when we worry, when we get concerned, is when we're not utilizing it. Because if what you really want is for everybody to be happy, then we have to, and you want to energetically contribute because it's the only way we can really contribute, then we choose freedom. Somebody just popped in here and it's staticky. There we go. So the invitation tonight and every day is to remember that no matter what is going on in the world, your energy is stronger. No matter who won, you're stuck with yourself. No matter who won, you're stuck with your own energy. And your own energy is going to be responsible for like everything in your life. So yes, there can be momentums and energies in around the world and in groups of people, but that you only partake in that if you're out of control of your own energy. When we are in control of our own energy, our own emotions, the love flowing out of our body, we are infinitely stronger than anything else that are around us. But if we're not managing ourselves, we will get sucked the fuck in. All of us, okay? That's just a fact. There's not a scenario. This is some heated stuff going around the world, right? Billions of people. So if you're wishy-washy, if you're in the wind blowing with whatever, you're going to get swooped up in. You are totally fuckwithable. And so the real magic here is to say, how do I become unfuckwithable? I remember, I'm not going to say who it was. It's not unfuckable. It's unfuckwithable. I want all of you to be very fuckable. Yes, yes. That's not it. It's unfuckwithable. That's how you'll know you're really powerful. That's how you'll know you're really powerful. When you can have your vibe and show up and look around and your vibe is stronger. Now, if that's not the case right now, go easy on yourself. If you haven't been practicing this for a long time and you haven't gone through several elections already practicing this, go easy on yourself. I've been doing this for at least 2 election cycles. I've not given one shit. I've not given one shit. Okay. So this is now the third one where I've genuinely not given a shit. I don't have to give a shit because I know that I do the best job I can on a daily basis with my own energy, and that I make a difference by holding the space and holding the energy for people to learn and acclimate up to. So I know that I'm doing my part. I know I'm casting my vibrational vote every single day. And now you guys are too. You guys are too. So if you need some sort of rewrite, if you need some sort of reminder, you can remind yourself, you know what? Everybody do what you want. I'm choosing love. I'm casting my vibrational vote every single day. I am going to be one who shows that unconditional love is possible. I am going to remind myself that the undercurrent of this world is love and expansion, and contrast is necessary for expansion. All is well. Everything balances each other out. Just like we say with ourselves, our own personal journeys. It's like the stock market, right? We have up days and down days, but as we're being intentional, we're trending up. The world is going to be very similar. I've been to about 40 countries in my travels. And my favorite thing that I've taken away from traveling to 40 countries, and let me even go further. Many of those countries I've been to 5+ times. I've traveled a lot, okay? Asia, Africa, South America, probably just the two tops, the top and the bottom I haven't been to. My favorite thing about traveling the entire world is realizing there's not much actually happening out there. The entire world is full of like people grocery shopping and cooking soup. That's the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is everybody is cooking dinner, kissing their children, taking walks. The land is beautiful. The sunsets and the sunrises are beautiful. And when you just drive around these countries, and I've driven around these countries, I drive through so many of these countries, it's just people living. Now remember, if you're like, but Alleah, da da da, it's just a reminder. You see whatever you look at. That's really important. You might want to write that down. You see whatever you look at. You can imagine your eyeballs. You imagine your eyes as two flashlights. Okay, two flashlights. And so whatever you're looking at is lit up. Whatever you are looking at is lit up. So if you've been looking at one kind of thing for a while, it's really easy to think that's all that's going on when it's not all that's going on. It's not all that's going out on at all. It's just that that's what you've been looking at. You're going to find whatever you're looking for. That's why Democrats will find all the proof and Republicans will find all the proof. And then both sides will follow the money and look at the data, and then they'll both go do it, and everybody will find what they're looking for. So you might want to consider what in your life is goes on where it then makes sense to turn off the love. It could be politics. It could be doing your accounting work in your business. It could be dealing with your child. We all will have a few subjects in our life that we just don't do this automatically in. And that's okay, because then we recognize it, we shift it, and we then practice doing it there. We practice realizing I don't need to talk to my child with an attitude. I don't need to deliver them the same attitude back that they gave me. I don't have to observe the news, right? We can end up practicing with our children, observing them and finding a stable energy because they're 4, because they're 10, because they're 20, because whatever. And so we want to be, we just, it's a good exercise. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect with this stuff, but it's an interesting exercise to say, when do I turn my love valve off? Because that is a huge opportunity to become really powerful, to say, I'm going to start practicing looking at these things with love and appreciation in my heart. And I don't have to get it on the first try. I can just practice and set the intention little bit, little bit, little bit, and make a decision that who I really am, what I know is who I am on the inside as a lover. I feel good when I love, and I don't feel good when I don't love. And so I'm just going to try my best to be loving most of the time. I'm going to do my best to emit what I want more of. I don't need to worry about anybody. I don't need to worry about anybody. Everybody's on their path. Even if you're thinking about somebody in a war-torn country. Even if you're thinking about someone somewhere who you think is going to have a right taken away. Even if you're thinking about whatever. We don't have to worry because we are all on our path. We are all here expanding. We are all here for the contrast. And not everybody in the world is ready to do this work. And that is okay. But rather than focusing on a lot of people don't, and so they're in war, and so they are screwed, what we can actually lean into, which is the truth, more and more people are. More and more people are doing this stuff. More and more people are doing this. More and more people are starting to control the love coming out of their body. More and more are, because more and more are. And if you want to contribute to that, then the most powerful thing you can do is say, I'm going to love when it's hard. I'm going to love when it feels really hard. I am going to practice being able to look at some things. Now, if there's something that's just too hard to, my recommendation is to just not look over there. Okay? And that is okay. For me personally, one of the hardest things for me to it gets me is like anything to do with children, like children trafficking, children sex abuse. Okay? I haven't achieved the ability to research, learn, and be involved in solutions while staying in alignment. And so I give myself permission to not go there because my vibe is not strong enough to do that. So what I do is I have a good organization. I like to send them some money. I like to not think about it. And then I like to stay in areas where I can unconditionally love. So for anybody who popped in later, I want to reiterate that I am not pro or against anybody in these elections or whatnot. For me personally, and I don't think you don't have to subscribe to this for all of us to do this work. But for me personally, all of that is a distraction from what really matters, which is where are my thoughts and emotions right now? You could talk about this and you can talk about this, but so what? You're talking about it? I know my grandmother somebody said, "Oh, well, we have duty to know what's going on in the world." Really? I don't know. I don't really subscribe to having a duty to know what's going on. For me, my duty is to have a good vibration and teach a good vibration. So if you can do that while learning about what's going on in the world, great. I want you to do that if that is interesting to you. But if you feel like, "Oh, I want to do that, but I'm not quite ready, but I want to have a good vibration. I want to be part of the solution," then the best steps you can take are to start setting some intention and practicing and saying, okay, I want to go into the shitstorm over there. What gear do I need? Like if I was to go into the Sahara Desert and like go into some sort of like sandstorm, I'd need some boots. I would need a helmet. I would need some canvas gear. So when I went into the middle of some sort of like sandstorm, I would be protected. So if you feel like you do want to go and be involved and advocate for what you want and vote for people and go to protests and stand up for what you want, I want you to do all of that. I so want you to move in the direction of what you want. I want you to do it with powerful energy, whichever side you're on. I don't care what side you're on. I want you to go into what matters to you with really, really good energy so you actually can contribute and influence. Because if you're trying to solve problems and fix things in worried energy, you're actually co creating and joining the creation, the energetic creation of the thing you don't want. Uh oh. Whoopsies, right? Whoopsies. Shit. Can we just like, yes, we can totally just write off whatever you've been doing lately and say right now is the perfect time to start practicing. Meaning you want to read an article, you want to go to a protest, you need to do some energetic preparation. You need to remind yourself that I am pure love. The universe is pure love. Source energy is pure love. I have the ability to be a conduit of pure love. and I want to show up in the problem being this magical conduit where I'm really shining love on everything. That might take some preparation, right? It probably takes a couple hours of preparation to go to like a family reunion, let alone do what we're talking about doing. But let's say you have like big aspirations of being like a change maker. I want you to do that. I don't even care what side you're on. But here's the thing. If you're sitting at your house on a sunny day worried about something, you're not a warrior yet. So the first line of business is to learn how to, in your own seat on a nice day, become aware of your thoughts and energy and shift it. Then you get that down. Now, can we do this on a cloudy day? Can it be like a wintry March day? It's the, you know, snowstorm, it's disgusting out. On that day, can we be aware of our thoughts and our emotions and shift into something really good? Okay, great. Now you have that skill. Now, can you get yourself in a really good vibe and go like interact in the world? Can you be in traffic? Can you be late? Can you get a bill you weren't expecting? Can you be in a long line and still stand there with love coming out of your body? Okay, great. Step 4 is the family reunion, right? Now you might be qualified to show up at some sort of family or work event. And now you're going to prepare your energy. Okay, can I get my energy in a really good place? Can I have the intention of holding it? And then can I show up? And then can I show up in this dynamic with everybody, all the family members doing what they've been doing for 20 years or 40 years? And in this little mini shitstorm, can I be breathing, observing, laughing, thinking it's funny, giving myself permission to leave early, right? Can we control our energy in that situation? Yes. All right. You are about ready. You are then about ready to deal with world affairs. You're on your way. And so you can follow your calling. If you feel like you have a calling to advocate for women's rights, do it, but not from a place of worry, from a place of loving to advocate for women's rights or whatever it is. I want you to advocate for whatever is important to you, but from a place of expansion and not problem. Doing anything out of problem energy, even if you're trying to fight the problem. There's a problem and I'm trying to fight it. I don't like it. It's not good for people. So I'm going to try to fix it. You're actually contributing to the energy field of that problem. It's only when you can be looking at that problem, shining your light, holding your good vibe. And you know you're doing that if while you're looking at the problem, you're feeling a feeling that you wouldn't mind having every single day. This is, if you're looking for a check and balance, this is a really important one. So the question is can you look at something that you would have a preference on? And while you're looking at it, can you have a feeling that you would like to feel every single day? If you're fighting against something and you're worried, no, I don't want this feeling every single day. So can we shift into looking at it and be like, all right, let's go. How good can we make this? How big of a change can we do? How good can this get? How awesome could this be? How fun can the journey be? Then now you're looking at it, but you're like, gosh, this is exciting. Yes, I would sign up for this feeling every single day. Now, for me, what I'm doing over here is when I'm talking to you guys, you come into the program and you're coming in here because something's been charged for a while. I give you the gift of not joining your energy, right? It's really powerful. It's really powerful to say, hey, listen, what I'm going to do is I am going to be able to listen to whatever you have on your mind and stay right here. And then what happens is that it makes it easy for you to suck up with me. I'm sucking you in because you're suckable. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to suck you in. I'm not trying to suck anybody else in, but I really love talking about this stuff. I'm here and it's like, who wants to party with me? You guys want to party with me, right? And so even when you are telling me about what happened in your childhood, even when you are telling me what happened with the bank accounts or the business or the finances or your children, you know what's going on inside of me? Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. Holy shit. This is amazing. You are on your path. You're budding. You're right here. You're moving into expansion. This is so good. This is amazing. I'm so excited to help you shift this, clear this up. You're going into big things. I'm not looking at you being like, "Oh shit." Could you imagine? Could you imagine if my energy fluctuated with you guys' energy? That would render me useless. So, if you have something important in your life going on, then that is the same thing. That is the same thing you can be doing, which is saying, "Oh, okay, cool. What thing can I bring a really good energy into?" And so, you guys are powerful beings. Our buddy Abraham Hicks, right? One person in alignment is stronger than other people not in alignment. And you may say, "Well, what if somebody is in alignment but they can't get out of the country?" As people become in alignment, and if somebody has this energy, they have inspiration. There's people leaving places all the time. There's people making miracles and manifesting paths forward all the time. So if we want more people to do that, all we have to do is do that as much as possible ourselves. But we also remember, we're also not trying to fix anything. We're not trying to take people's contrasts away. We're not trying to take anything away. I've shared a story a few times that when I was 19, 18 or 19, I spent time with I don't know if she's still famous. She used to be famous in the 90s, a medium, Rosemary Altea. She's like one of the mediums that was like Sylvia Brown, they all went on like Oprah and Larry King, like, so that her name was Rosemary Altea. She was from the UK, but she had moved to Vermont. I lived in Massachusetts, and there was her website said she did these free healings on Wednesday nights. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I had just read her book when I was 12. And so when I was 18 and I saw that she was in Vermont doing free healings on Wednesday nights, I decided to go. And I then decided to hang out with them all the time. And it was like, at the time, it was like this group was like, God, nobody could have been younger than 45 or 50. So it was probably like 50 to 7-year-olds and me at 18. And I started going, and because with the people that Rosemary would take into her circle, she was like training us to be healers. So in being with this group, it wasn't anything weird. It was beautiful. I think it was Christian based, but the essence of what Rosemary. So these Wednesday nights, the healings, you go into this like basement of a library, and they would like put their hands on people's shoulders, 10 minutes or something like that. And so when I started spending time, and Rosemary would say, "Okay, listen, basically, healers are we're not trying to actually heal. You're not really trying to take somebody's disease away." Right? The essence of the healer was to be a conduit of good energy, was to be able to put your own baggage down and just tap into love and flow it to that person without an intention of taking any sickness away. Because for so many people, their diseases launched them into powerful directions in their life, taught them stuff. So many people say, "Oh my God, like I wouldn't wish myself to not have that because I got so much out of that. I pivoted my life. I grew." So many people, the disease was the best thing that ever happened to them. And so if you could imagine, you're saying, "Oh, hey, let me take this away." You're essentially saying, "Well, let me take your path away. Let me judge your path. Let me decide if you're going to be okay or not." And then and then what are we doing? Now we're wishing away the thing that changed their life for the best. And so if you're trying to think about like the world and fixing all the problems, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of course we want peace everywhere. Of course we want safe homes for families. Of course we want that. But at the same time, we're not trying to take away contrast, since contrast is necessary for expansion. So the resonant is all is well. All is well. Love is everywhere. There's far more people in this world loving than not loving. Everybody's manifesting. Contrast is always a good thing. Hard to hard to think about it on a large scale. You're not qualified to think about it on a large scale. Practice the small scale, work up to the large scale. I promise you, when you build that energy, you will be able to relax in knowing that it's balanced and it's beautiful and that people are on their paths and that all is well in the world. And the most powerful thing I could do is choose love. The most powerful thing I can do is to look for things to love, look for things to appreciate, and shine my love on as many people as possible. You don't even have to say anything. It's just going out into the world with that vibe. That's the most powerful thing you could do. Most powerful, powerful, powerful thing. That's more powerful than a particular person landing in office. That's more powerful because you are on the ground, one by one, sharing that good energy. It's beautiful.